In 1970, Nicholas Garrigan graduates from the University of Edinburgh Medical School. He decides to seek adventure abroad by working at a missionary clinic. Nicholas is riding the bus and becomes friendly with a young local woman. They both alight and make love in her home. The following day Nicholas arrives at his destination and meets Sarah, the pretty wife of Dr. Merritt, whom he will be working for in a rural clinic. Merritt is a dedicated doctor. That time Uganda was taken over by General Idi Amin, overthrows President Milton Obote in a coup d'état. Hearing Amin will be giving a speech nearby, he convinces Sarah to attend the rally with him. Nicholas is deeply impressed and sees Amin as a charismatic and entertaining figure who was greeted with enthusiasm by his people and who seemed to have their interests at heart. Driving back to the clinic, they are interrupted by terrified soldiers begging them to come treat Amin, who has been in an accident. The presidential motorcade has collided with a cow and Amin is sure that his hand is broken. Nicholas knows that the injury is just a sprain and works to bandage Amin's hand. Unable to concentrate on his bandaging on account of the dying cow's bawling, Nicholas impetuously grabs a pistol sitting on the car and shoots the cow. Everybody was shocked. Amin asked Nicholas if he is British. Nicholas clarifies that he is Scottish and shows his emblem T-shirt under his first shirt. Amin's mood immediately changed and praises the Scottish culture and people because he has been there. Amin asks for Nicholas's T-shirt for his son, Campbell. And the two men exchange shirts. Later that night Nicholas invites Sarah for drinks on the porch. Knowing full well of Nicholas's intention, Sarah confides that as a wife of a good man, she is often unnoticed and undervalued. Nicholas kisses her. Sarah quickly comes to her senses and leaves Nicholas alone. The next day the Ugandan health minister, who is Amin's #1 advisor, arrives to bring Nicholas to Amin in the presidential limousine. Thinking that Amin just wants him to retie the bandages, Nicholas promises Sarah that he will return. Nicholas meets Amin and is taken back by the offer to be his personal physician. Nicholas turns down the job offer twice. Amin then promises to take Nicholas back to the village first thing in the morning, but first he must attend tonight's state dinner. Since Nicholas does not have a suit, Amin sends him to a tailor where he meets a British diplomat, Stone. The state dinner is a lavish affair and Nicholas is introduced to Amin's wives. The third wife is simply introduced as Kay. Kay thanked Nicholas for the T-shirt for her son Campbell. Nicholas is woken in the middle of the night by the frantic servant and summoned to Amin's bedroom, who's there lying in stomach pain. He just let Amin blow off his fart, to the big relief of Amin. Eventually Nicholas agrees to the job offer and calls Sarah to apologize. While working for Amin, Garrigan quickly becomes a trusted confidant and is gradually entrusted with a wider range of duties, include matters of state. Nicholas is given an elegant apartment in the immaculate presidential compound and his job is set up in the presidential hospital where he meets his predecessor, Dr. Junju. A messenger comes running looking for Nicholas, saying that the president's son is sick. Nicholas eventually learns that Amin has banished the youngest of his 3 wives, Kay, because she has given birth to an epileptic son, Mackenzie. The following morning Nicholas is woken early by Amin. To thank Nicholas for helping his epileptic son, Amin gives him a brand new silver Mercedes convertible. Nicholas is beyond thrilled and Amin wants Nicholas to drive him to the airport with a presidential convoy. Assassins ambush the convoy and target the presidential limousine thinking that Amin is on board. Nicholas manages to drive Amin out of harm's way. Once secured and surrounded by military men, Amin freaks out. Amin begins screaming and looking for his #1 advisor, the health minister, and slurs Nicholas for not knowing where he is. A soldier comes to Amin to tell him some of the assassins are caught. Amin's mood changes again and brings Nicholas with him to see the captured assassins who are being tortured. Shortly the assassins were executed. Nicholas is shaken by the recent events and goes to a lounge to calm down. There he sees the health minister talking to a white man in a secretive manner. Some time later Nicholas is in Amin's office having him sign papers for supplies for the hospital. For some reason, he shared what he observed in the lounge about the health minister. The following day he learned from Stone that the health minister is missing. Eventually, Nicholas becomes disillusioned by Amin as he witnesses increasing amounts of paranoia, murders and xenophobia. Nicholas goes to see Amin to announce he is going home. Amin turns around and it's actually a body double in Amin's uniform. Amin keeps saying, I got you," in a childish manner, to the laughter of his goons. After sending his body doubles and goons out of the room, Amin turns serious and tells Nicholas that he cannot go home to Scotland, that Uganda is now his home and he is like a son to him. Amin throws a party with go-go girls to cheer up Nicholas. Nicholas still looks unhappy that he moves away from a girl assigned to him, and downs drink after drink. There he bumped into Kay, who looked so stunning that night. They end up making love in a room while the party is still going on outside. Nicholas returns to his apartment after the party only to find it ransacked. His passport is gone and he finds an envelope containing an Ugandan passport with his picture in it. Distressed, Nicholas goes to see Stone and pleads for help to get him out of Uganda. Stone says he has to earn his passage by obliterating Amin now that the British can no longer control him, which Nicholas did not agree. Amin grows increasingly unpredictable that he kicks all Asians out of Uganda, calling them leeches. Nicholas arrives at the hospital to find it in total chaos as Amin's goons are trying to expel Asian patients and beating up Junju. Nicholas stops them and demands that they leave the hospital. Nicholas protested to Amin about the expelling of the Asians, but Amin told him that this things is not his concern and angrily dismisses him as nothing but a doctor, a nobody, and screams at him to get out. Kay calls Nicholas, panically informing him that she is pregnant. Kay threatens to go to a village witch doctor and Nicholas begs her not to, that he will arrange the abortion in a clinical setting and promise that they will do it first thing in the morning. The following morning Nicholas tells Junju what has happened and he freaks out and refuses to have the abortion done in the hospital as Amin is sure to find out. Nicholas decides he will have to do it himself and raids the medical supply room for the necessary operation when Amin's goon interrupts him and said Amin wants to see him right away. Amin is enraged over international newspapers labeling him a madman, and threatens to throw all foreign journalists out of Uganda. He starts in on Nicholas and angrily demands to know why Nicholas as his advisor did not warn him not to throw the Asians out of Uganda. Nicholas protests that he did precisely this, and Amin throws back that he did not persuade him. Played once more, Nicholas advises Amin not to throw the journalists out of Uganda but instead invite them where he can turn on the charm. Amin told him he has to stay for the press conference. Kay is trying to contact Nicholas but to no avail cause he is forced to attend the conference. At the press conference, Amin turns on his charm for the media to distract them and the world from what he's really doing. It works as nearly all the foolish journalists even applauded him with his ridiculous explanations. After the press conference Nicholas hurriedly drives out to Kay's house only to find weeping servants telling him Kay has already gone to the witch doctor and now has been taken to the hospital due to complications from the back alley abortion. Nicholas rushes to the hospital only to hear creepy wailings. Entering the morgue he finds Kay's dismembered body. Nicholas cries over Kay's body and vomits. Nicholas goes to see Amin who is watching porn with his goons. Nicholas gives Amin a bottle of poison pills for his headache and goes out. Outside he is stopped by the guards and brought back inside where Amin is suddenly become jolly and teases Nicholas for running away from him. He tells Nicholas that Palestinian terrorists have hijacked an Air France plane and he has allowed them to land in Uganda. Amin feels this is an opportunity and show the world what a great leader he is. While riding to the airport with Amin, Nicholas nervously eyes the bottle of poison pills still in Amin's hands. Amin's bodyguard notices Nicholas' demeanor and smells something fishy. Amin left the pill on the car seat and the bodyguard took the bottle. At Entebbe airport, Amin assures the news media that the hostages will be looked after and sends in Nicholas. Nicholas meets Junju and the nurses that are giving malaria pills to the hostages. Nicholas sees the bodyguard outside with the pills. Nicholas follows and sees him forcing a young soldier to take the pill. Nicholas runs out and makes the boy spit out the pill. The goons are dragging a badly beaten Nicholas in front of the horrified hostages to a shop out of sight from others. Amin tells Nicholas that he knows about the affair with Kay and tells him a story of a practice done in his village to purge a man of evil by hanging him by his skin. Amin tells Nicholas that he has grossly offended your father. Nicholas reaches up to touch Amin and whispers, "You're a child. That's what makes you so scary." The goons bring ropes and 2 hooks. Holding Nicholas up, they proceed to pierce his chest with the hooks while Nicholas is looking straight into Amin's eyes, refusing to scream. Nicholas is strung up and hangs from the ceiling by his skin. Amin goes outside and his public persona immediately returns. The torturers leave Nicholas unconscious on the floor while they relax in another room. Dr. Junju takes advantage of the opportunity to rescue him. He urges Nicholas to tell the world the truth about Amin's regime. Junju gives Nicholas his own jacket, enabling him to mingle unnoticed with the crowd of freed hostages and boards the plane. The torturers discover that Nicholas is gone. They find Junju trying to leave the airport and suspect that he has something to do with the missing doctor. Junju is shot in the head for helping Nicholas escape. While Amin is being informed of Nicholas' escape, which he is too late to prevent. All that he can do is to watch the plane fly. Nicholas' plane takes off and tearfully remembers the people of Uganda and lets himself pass out. 48 hours later, Israeli forces stormed Entebbe and liberated all but one of the hostages. International public opinion turned against Amin for good. When he was finally overthrown in 1979, jubilant crowds poured onto the streets. His regime has killed more than 300,000 Ugandans. Amin died in exile in Saudi Arabia on the 16th of August, 2003.